And now we are going to organize the peer review session according to some rules. So as you probably know, the peer review will relate to a policy review on the region in the context of life cycle assessment opportunities and challenges. And it will be run in two separate groups, in two separate rooms, specially created in a minute, for partners with moderators. So we will have two rooms with two moderators. One of them will be Professor Tomasz Nitkiewicz from Częstochowa University of Technology. And I also be serving as a moderator in the second room. Maybe this is a good idea to mention about observations topics. So first of them is adequacy of policy instruments to increase the use of life cycle assessment in the region. Second one, the use of LCA in the application of the policy instruments. And the last one, replications of the experiences. So now, very short summary provided by moderators. So maybe I would like Professor Tomasz Nitkiewicz to...
Thank you very much. I would just briefly present the outcome of our discussion. I try to follow our master here, Francesco, with some visual summary of our session. So we discussed the adequacy of policy instrument to increase the use of LCA. And we could see that the Lodzkie region, following the Polish strategies, is quite well equipped with circular economy and LCA support, but there is a strong need to translate the methodology into practical solutions and transfer it from the national level to regional level. We also need a support for life cycle management, so the decision making with the use of LCA, that's the missing point. Another issue is multi-stakeholder dialogue, which is really crucial for making LCA results viable for decision making. Another issue that we addressed is the use of LCA in the application of policy instruments. One notice is about the strong support for eco-design, and another issue is for missing LCA-based monitoring system that could be of help in any decision making, but it's not yet on place and perhaps should be added here. As for possibilities concerning replication of Lodzkie region experiences, we could say that the biggest impression is with curricula equipped with LCA, like a bit driven by it. So this is a really good practice and a good example. We have opportunities to follow the public procurement model with these good practices presented here, and modeling issues that were presented on the example of Lodzkie region. We could see also that the replication needs just to step out of our comfort zone and start working not only as a unit or a group of units, but also multidisciplinarily to get this synergy effect. So this facilitation of life cycle assessment results use should be starting right now and should be involving all the actors, should be cross-sectoral. So thank you. This is from my part. Thank you also for all the partners from Lombardia, Navarra, Western Slovenia, Kaunas, and ACR for their contribution.
So basically, we had more or less the same or some remarks were more or less the same. So this was some notice that we've got general policies which create some basic framework, but it is not enough because in detail there are no specific regional tool to finance the support for life cycle assessment applications. And there was some emphasis connected with our energy sector, that it is based on the coal-fired power plants, and very strong need to transform our energy sector and to move into the direction of renewable energy sources, right? So it was a big issue here among us. And the next item here, there is some hope with the next operational program, and it seems to implement some tools supporting LCA. Also the same, there is some need to consider social aspects of all the activity, not only economic, environmental, but also social aspects. So that there is a need. And what can be replicable in other regions is again life cycle costs, life cycle costing in public procurements, which is in our region, in our country, it is implemented. And again, mandatory life cycle assessment course for all university modules, and also not only educational side, but also using life cycle assessment in some researches, and also the use and to support some industrial compounds, industrial sector. And that's it. So now I'm going to come back. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it was not visible at all.
No, it was okay. We saw it.
I see. Just now. Okay. I'm really sorry. It's technical problems. Okay, so now there is some time for another people. Would you like to comment and summarize everything, and especially peer review sessions? And I've got the request, a special request to Dr. Fritz Balkau and Francesco Lembo. Would you like to comment the peer review session?
I agree with those conclusions. I think it's what was discussed, and it's very appropriate. I would just like to add a comment to the last item. We have mandatory LCA for university modules and use LCA. I would strongly support the all LCA methodologies, not only life cycle assessment as traditionally practiced, but I think at the undergraduate level, students need an overview of the range of applications for life cycle thinking, social LCA, organisational LCA, LCC, that they can specialise afterwards. At an undergraduate level, they should get an overview of all the methodologies. That's my only comment.
Okay. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Litzbalko, for your very short summary. And what about Francesco Lembo? Would you like to say some words about the pre-review as a summary of it?
Very few words. I think that one that was also my first comment popping up during the breaking room. I think that capacity building and training issues that was very well addressed during the all the works of this transnational learning journey. They highlight not only the needs of specific technical skills, but they already put so clear the need about facilitating roles to make both private and public organizations move with a stronger commitment, a stronger awareness of different impacts from the apart from the economic one. I think that we already had and shared very advanced experience on higher and technical skills connected to life cycle thinking and life cycle assessment. I think that there the matter is about, as Fritz said, finding cooperative and not competitive mechanism to have a different experience, talk with each other for a wider replication. And I think that there's a pretty much big unexplored or relatively unexplored field when it comes to transversal skills and when it comes especially to vocational training. We had some experience aiming and targeting civil servants. They are few experience, few gems in a panorama that's not so populated around Europe. And we didn't have this, or we barely didn't have during this TLJ, but we have very less populated panorama of vocational training experience addressing different targets. So if we need to have private on board on wider metrics and environmental impact and life cycle thinking, we don't need only engineers and consultants, but we need transversally a culture permeating private organization in different functions and in different levels. And I think that at least for Azure Plus, this is the main takeaway to think about follow-up actions from this TLJ.
And unfortunately, that's the time to finish our event. So once again, I would like to thank you very much to participate, for the time, for the sharing of experience. So we've got a lot of information and a lot of conclusions to apply in our region. So I would like to thank to the representatives of Slovenia region and Lombardy, Italy, and Kaunas region from Lithuania, and Navarra region from Spain, and Satakunta region from Finland, and Sinbad region from Portugal, and everyone else for participation, for being active, so active, and understanding. Once again, thank you very much, and I'm sure that this 3-day journey is only the first step for us for the very long journey in front of us. So once again, thank you very much. And at the end, I would like to invite here the representatives of organizers of our Lodzkie region to appear here. Is it possible?
All right, all right. Thank you, Professor. First of all, I would like to express all the positive feelings, all the positive feedback, all the information I gained from you. We together with Tomasz, we are very pleased, we are very happy to have you on board for this 3 days of intensive gain of knowledge, practical experience on LCA. We would like to, of course, share all the credits and thanks, many thanks for especially Małgorzata Koszewska, Vice Dean of Faculty of Management and Production Engineering at Łódź University of Technology. Professor Andrzej Marcinkiewicz, who was a moderator and host with you for 3 days. Also, Professor Tomasz Litkiewicz from Częstochowa University of Technology. I remind you that we are happy with the fact that we are part of European Sustainable Development Week initiative. I hope we will mention in the summary report. Also, I'm happy that both Professor Tomasz Litkiewicz and Professor Andrzej Marcinkowski will help us to elaborate the whole summary of our work. And if it would be in a much if it will be too big, we'll try to cut it and to give you the very brief analysis of our conclusions. The TLJ number 5 is finished. Thank you very much indeed, and good luck to you.